Okay, this is just a quick update on the 83 Honda ATC. So you can see it's in a bit of a different spot, and it actually kind of drove to this spot on its own. And I have actually found neutral finally. She's actually rolling in neutral. It took a bit. It basically took running the engine and running it through the transmission after I got the chain on finally. That was a nightmare to get the chain on this thing, but it's all on. It will move under its own power. I think I was trying to take off in high gear, so it wasn't really wanting to go, and it was stalling out pretty much right away. So I think I've solved that issue by finding neutral and finding first. So in a second I'm going to fire it back up. I can't really do it on video, so if I do end up doing an update video on it, you'll have to take my word that it does drive. Once I get the electrical system working correctly and I put a battery down in the hole, I do have one, and to make the starter button work, I do have a starter button on the way. I have a front brake cable on the way. I'm not ordering any more parts like the handle here until I know that it will move under its own power. Once I know that, I got parts on the Honda website ready to be ordered and come in. I do need 2 rear wheel bolts or nuts. They're actually from there's a supplier. You can get them for about $2 a piece. From eBay, they're like 15 bucks a piece. But of course, the supplier won't ship to Canada, so unfortunately I might have to go the higher priced route, unfortunately. But the front one is all back together. I gotta put a cotter key in the front still, but the wiring will slowly get cleaned up once I put the headlight back on and get all that stuff sorted out. The pull start cover is off because I had to manually turn the engine over with it in gear. Actually, it was stuck in gear to get the chain to go through. That was a nightmare. But the chain's on. It's at a good tension as far as I can tell. I gotta do a few more things on the back. I just want to see if it will actually drive, which it kind of will, kind of won't. But I think because it was starting off in high gear, that's what the issue was. So I'll have to wait and see. Also from the Honda website, I got an air filter on there. So I have the left brake handle. I know it's actually, both of these are brakes up front. One's the front brake, one's the rear brakes. And rear brakes actually work on this, which is nice. So I do actually have brakes, which is good. I figured it would have a manual clutch on it, but it doesn't. It's a centrifugal clutch. Thank you for everybody who actually did correct me on that and tell me that it does have a centrifugal clutch. I greatly appreciate it. So other than that, this tire is actually somewhat holding air. It's doing better than it was. I did a few redneck hillbilly backwoods tricks on it, and it is actually holding enough to drive it. So just got to get it running and take off in actually first gear instead of probably fourth. I think this thing has 4 forward gears, and see if it'll actually move. So that's just a quick update on the 83 Honda ATC. And yes, all that stuff will be going back on the side very soon. Probably not today. I want to clean that up a bit more in there and then put it all back together. I also got torque or tighten up these bolts on here, because believe me, I was trying every which way to get that chain to go through, but I finally used a piece of twine, or it's like plastic baling twine, ran it through, and I was able to pull the chain through and manually turn the engine over by hand with a ratchet, and I got the chain to come through. So that's the way I ended up having to do it. So anyways, it will run, it will move on concrete under its own power a bit, I think in high gear, because it was, like I said, it was in too high of a gear. So I'm going to try and start off in first gear, see if it will move, and we'll go from there. I might post in the description below if it was a success or not, so check out my description if you would like. So I guess I'll talk to them later. Please keep redneck like always, and please leave a comment.